Get ready to dive into some amazing Chinese mythology where we'll meet incredible creatures like Ao, a giant turtle with a dragon's head, and the Azure Dragon, symbolizing the East. These stories are not just about mythical creatures, they're about the rich culture and history of ancient China. So let's jump right into this fascinating world. 9. Ao, a giant turtle, but it's not just any turtle. This one has a dragon's head. It's like something out of a fantasy movie, right? Ao is this massive black turtle dragon that people in ancient China thought was super special. They called it the Black Turtle or Black Dragon, and it was part of this big deal group called the Four Symbols of the Chinese constellations. Ao is kind of like the guardian of the North. Think of it as the big boss of the water world. People believed it symbolized living a really long time, being super strong, and staying steady no matter what life throws at you. In those old Chinese stories, Ao wasn't just a cool creature to look at. It was like a superhero keeping an eye on the northern skies, making sure everything was chill up there. But that's not all. Ao wasn't just about looking cool and being strong. It was like a symbol of how the world is put together, the base that keeps everything stable. When people thought about Ao, they thought about wisdom, deep secrets, and how life keeps on flowing. It's like Ao was part of the story of how everything began, keeping the balance between all the forces in the universe. So when you see Ao in Chinese art or read about it in old stories, it's not just a turtle dragon. It's a big part of what people back then thought about the world and life itself. 8. The Azure Dragon. Next up, we've got the Azure Dragon or Qinglong. This dragon is something else. Imagine a dragon that's the color of a bright, clear sky or a deep ocean. The Azure Dragon is a star player in Chinese myths, standing for the East, where everything starts growing and coming to life. The Azure Dragon is like the symbol of spring, when flowers bloom and trees get their leaves back. But it's not just about looking pretty. This dragon means business. It's all about power, being lucky, and doing well in life. Back in the day, people in China thought this dragon was linked to the emperor. It was like his special animal that showed he was the real deal, the guy in charge. The Azure Dragon was also like a big, scaly bodyguard, keeping bad stuff and disasters away. People would have parades and parties to celebrate this dragon, showing off its pictures in the streets, reminding everyone about how we're all connected to nature and the universe. 7. Feng Hang. Let's talk about the Feng Hang, also known as the Chinese phoenix. Now forget what you know about the phoenix from other stories. This one is unique. It's this gorgeous bird that's a mix of a bunch of different birds. It's got the style of a pheasant, a tail as colorful as a peacock's, and a dragon's head. This bird isn't about rising from ashes. It's all about beauty, grace, and getting along with everyone. The Feng Hang is a big deal in Chinese culture. It's not just a pretty bird. It stands for being good, virtuous, and finding the perfect balance in life. It's like the yin to the dragon's yang, showing how different things can come together and make everything better. This bird was especially important for the empress in ancient China. It was like her symbol, showing off her elegance, wisdom, and how she balanced out the emperor's power. The Feng Hang wasn't just a bird in stories. It was a sign of all the good qualities a leader should have and how important it is to have balance and harmony in the world. 6. Daren. Imagine something straight out of a horror story. A creature that's all about darkness, chaos, and bringing bad luck. Daren is said to look kind of like a person, but in a really terrifying way. We're talking sharp teeth, red eyes that look like they've seen some stuff, and an overall vibe that screams, "Stay away." The stories about Daren are pretty old, popping up in various ancient Chinese texts. It's usually the bad guy in these tales, the one bringing all sorts of disasters like plagues and calamities. People believed that Daren had connections to the underworld and was a deity you really didn't want to mess with. They would do rituals and offer things to Daren, hoping to keep it happy and, more importantly, away from them. In Chinese culture, Daren is like a reminder of all the scary unknowns out there. It's a symbol of what happens when things go really wrong and a warning to stay on the good side of life. Daren represents the fear of dark forces and reminds people about the importance of keeping things balanced and harmonious. It's like the boogeyman of Chinese folklore, a scary story to keep you on the straight and narrow. 5. Jonger. Next, we've got the Jonger, which is kind of a mix between a vampire and a zombie. These creatures are known as hopping vampires or stiff corpses because they move around by hopping. Yes, hopping. They're said to suck the life force out of living people, which is as creepy as it sounds. The story goes that Jonger come about when someone dies in a weird way or doesn't get the right burial. They're like the undead, brought back to life by some dark magic and on the hunt for the living's life energy, known as qi. To keep these hopping nightmares away, people in Chinese folklore would use talismans, garlic, or mirrors. It's kind of like how garlic is supposed to keep away Western vampires, but with more hopping involved. Jonger have become big stars in Chinese pop culture. They're all over movies, books, and TV shows, often shown as both scary and a bit funny. They've become iconic in Chinese horror, a staple of spooky stories that manage to make you laugh and jump at the same time. 4. Neon. Now there's Neon, often called the Year Beast or New Year Monster. Picture a giant, scary creature that looks a bit like a lion, with huge horns and a mouth big enough to eat you in one bite. Neon is said to come out of hiding on New Year's Eve, ready to cause all sorts of trouble in villages by eating livestock and even people. But here's the twist. Neon is scared of loud noises, bright colors, and firecrackers. So, to keep it away, villagers would deck out their homes with red decorations, wear red clothes, and set off loads of firecrackers. It was like a big, noisy, colorful party to scare off this monster. This whole battle with Neon is actually the reason why Chinese New Year is celebrated the way it is. All the red decorations, firecrackers, and even those lion dances are part of the tradition to keep Neon away. The story of beating Neon has become a symbol of good winning over evil and starting the new year on a positive note. Plus, Neon in Chinese is the word for year, so the holiday is also about passing the year, or surviving another encounter with the Neon monster. 3. Chuan. Chuan is like the ninja of Chinese mythology, super stealthy and hard to find. When I went looking for this creature, it was like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's not in the usual lineup of famous mythological creatures. This makes Chuan pretty intriguing. It could be a local legend, maybe a creature that's only known in a small area or a specific story that hasn't hit the mainstream of myths and legends. Imagine Chuan as this hidden treasure in a vast forest of tales, waiting to be discovered and shared with the world. It's like those secret spots in your hometown that only the locals know about, full of stories and character, but off the beaten path. Chuan might represent something unique, a story or a lesson that's been passed down through generations in a specific place. It's the kind of creature that makes you think there's so much more to explore in the world of mythology, so many more stories waiting to be told. 2. Chang. Now let's talk about Chang. Trying to find information about Chang is like trying to solve a puzzle without all the pieces. There's not a lot out there, which makes Chang kind of a mystery. It's possible that Chang plays a small but significant role in a larger myth. Think of those characters in movies who aren't the main stars but have an important part to play. They add depth and intrigue to the story, even if they're not in the spotlight. Chang might be like that, a character that adds flavor to a myth or a tale. Maybe Chang is a guardian of something important or a messenger between worlds. Or perhaps Chang has a special power or message that's only revealed in certain stories. It's like those unsung heroes in tales who play a crucial role but stay in the background. Chang could be one of those hidden gems in Chinese mythology, a character with a unique story that's yet to be fully discovered and appreciated. 1. Fei Wei. Like Chuan and Chang, Fei Wei is playing hard to get in the world of myths. It's not showing up in the popular lists of mythical creatures, which makes it pretty special. This leads me to think that Fei Wei might be part of local folklore. It's like those family recipes that are passed down through generations, known only to a select few and full of unique flavors. Fei Wei could be a creature with a story that's been told around the fire in a small village, or a character in tales that families share within their homes. It's the kind of mythical being that carries a sense of mystery and intimacy. Maybe Fei Wei has a magical ability or a role in the natural world that's unique to a specific place or community. It's like those local legends that give a place its character, full of intrigue and charm, but not widely known outside their home turf. Which of these mythical creatures fascinated you the most? Was it the powerful dragon or the secretive Fei Wei? Drop a comment below to share your favorite, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more.